Michigan International Speedway is known for breathtaking speed and wide-open competition. This 2-mile oval features a massive 73-foot wide racing surface and an 18-degree banked corners, creating multiple racing grooves and some of the fastest lap times anywhere in motorsports. While Michigan isn't classified as a super speedway, the long straightaways and sweeping turns demand raw horsepower, precision, and bravery at both ends of the track. Once, Indy cars thundered through the Irish Hills at incredible speed, highlighting Paul Tracy's legendary 234.949 mile-per-hour qualifying lap. Today, Michigan remains as one of NASCAR's fastest venues, regularly rivaling Daytona and Talladega, with Jeff Gordon's 206.558 mile-per-hour lap still standing as the NASCAR Cup Series track record. The winners list here reads like a Motorsports Hall of Fame. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby and Davey Allison, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson, alongside open-wheel legends like Andretti, Foyt, Unser, Mears, and Zanardi. For more than half a century, the world's best drivers have come to Michigan to test their skill, and the fans have followed in huge numbers. Tonight, a new chapter is written as the PSRA Open ARCA Series takes on Michigan International Speedway. It's the Irish Hills 150, and it's coming your way next, live on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Michigan Speedway for the Irish Hills 150 PSRA Open ARCA Series. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits Network, joined in the broadcast booth by Zach Millett. How we doing, Zach?
Hey, Steve. How we doing tonight, man?
Doing good, sir. Welcome back once again. Let's get into the details as practice wraps up. 75 laps the distance here tonight. 70% fuel load on board. 4 sets of tires over the wall. No fast repairs. 0 zip, zillage, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. Weather-wise, 66 degrees. A little cool here this afternoon. 46% humidity. Partly cloudy skies. A little breezy as well at 14 miles per hour. Track temp at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Fast times so far in this practice session: Drew Blaze in the 88, 37-35, and Will Jones, David Bradford, Corey Bigley, and Alan DeFries rounding out the current top 5. Practice just a couple of minutes shy of coming to its conclusion. We'll get right into the qualifying session immediately thereafter. Let's try to take a quick peek here at the current point standings as we roll into tonight's race. David Bradford with only 1 win so far, but 204 points, the race leader, or the series leader. Jeremiah Holt second, Ken Couch, A.J. Rogers, then it's Corey Bigley, Brandon Minnick, Keenan Kimber, Stephen Luttrell, Drew Blaze, Josh Ingram. That's your top 5. Some other notables down the line. Fast drivers, Cole Ansley back in 12th, Will Jones 15th. Really far down the line, I believe in 23rd position, it's Bobby Hamilton Jr. has had a real bad string of bad luck so far this season. We'll see if he can turn that around here tonight. So, Zach, another fast-paced race course here at Michigan Speedway, 2 miles in distance. How do you set yourself up for success here at a big track, the fast racetrack here in the Irish Hills?
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a right-rear type of track here, Steve. It's hard to tell with these new ARCA cars. I haven't had the laps to really try it personally yet, but most of the time, most other cars, you're kind of leaning on that right rear pretty hard, and you'll see guys get back to the gas a little quick, and once they get loose, it's hard to get the temp out of that right rear. And so we're going to see a lot of guys probably backing up their pace the first little bit of these runs, and then you'll see them towards the end kind of make their way up to the front.
Only 150 miles the distance here tonight. I wouldn't say it's a flat-out, 25-lap sprint race that you see on your average Friday, Saturday night short track, but it's pretty quick to get after things. You really can't dilly-dally at the back of the field for too terribly long. At what stage of the race do you expect these guys really to go hammer down and push the car really to the edge?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but, it's not the biggest field, so, you could really afford to kind of stay in the back a bit longer. If there was 40 cars out here, you'd want to make some haste as quick as possible to get away from the craziness. But I don't know. I would imagine pretty late. We'll see what kind of aggression we see, though. We'll see how patient these guys are going to be.
4 sets of tires spread over 75 laps, 5 if you count what they start the race on. Can't expect there to be too much tire strategy. Thinking maybe fuel may come into play more than anything else. Practice completed here at Michigan Speedway. We're going to get right into our qualifying session. We'll tell you who goes to the track first. It's going to be Will Jones in his number 46 Toyota.
Man, 5 sets. It's going to be, anytime a caution comes out tonight, it's going to be pretty much a 4-tire pit stop. I think this is going to be fun to watch here, Steve, because I think these guys are going to have these things pretty loose, pretty yawed out for these 2 laps. I imagine it's going to be lap 2. We'll see what kind of lap 1 these guys put down, but I imagine they're going to just kind of, you know, lean on it as much as they can, get the pressures up, and see what they can get lap 2.
Again, this is an open setup series for those new to watching tonight's broadcast here in the PSRA. They do have the ability to work on their set, so qualifying trim and race trim, both a thing here at Michigan Speedway here tonight. But we're going to see a lot. Oh, lap 1 going to go out the window for Will Jones as he catches the wall there out of turn number 2. We're going to find out for certain if lap 2 will be faster. I can tell you right now it's probably going to be.
See him rip the top lane here to get as much momentum as possible coming to the line here for his lap 2.
Will's got the benefit of some cloud cover here, too. If that doesn't stick around, this second lap may actually still work out for him. Bobby Jr. goes 37.73. Brendan Minnick with a 98. His first lap. Again, Jones's lap did not count as he made contact with the wall. We'll see what lap 2 provides, and he's in the fence the same exact spot on his second lap. So that's going to do it for Will Jones. He'll likely start from the rear of the field here. Bobby Jr. we watch now, currently fastest on the board, 37.73. We'll see if this is a quicker lap for the 25. Big bump right before start-finish, Zach. Does that really slow him down at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'll definitely kill probably not even quite a mile an hour, but it's noticeable on a Q lap.
37.78, second lap for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Still sits atop of the leaderboard. Cole Ansley, not the fastest in practice. We'll see if he's got some short run speed here in qualifying.
Speaking of that bump there, Steve, that's they tell us over on the Conti side to not come to the green below that apron because of that bump, because once you hit it, you're kind of giving up mile an hour. Basically free time, you know.
I'd imagine, too, with the car getting light after hitting that bump, you do run the risk of kind of spinning the back tires a little bit. I know that's going to put a little added heat. I don't know how much significance it really has, but I got to imagine it can't help. But Colt goes quick lap 2, 37.79, puts him in the second row. Corey Bigley now ninth quick, 37.996. 190 miles an hour the lap for Corey Bigley.
Oh, that's a beautiful line right there, Steve. That large, wide, open arc into turn 1. You kind of get to the bottom there real late into turn 2, and then kind of straighten it up to the wall. He looks like he nailed it there.
Cloud cover still on the racetrack here at Michigan.
This one looks pretty clean, Steve. I'm anxious to see what this time looks like.
It's the bump, though. A lot of guys sticking to the low side. Fifth quick for Bigley. Jason Steptoe back in action this week. 17th quick his first lap. Sponsors welcome on the Steptoe machine. Real abrupt left turn to get to the bottom of the racetrack. I'm just curious how much speed he's scrubbing and doing that, but 16th quick, picks up a little on lap 2, 38.76. Rodney Roberts about to roll out onto pit lane, or is he? Opts not to. He's going to reset. Hasn't run a lap yet. Again, only, I don't think he's going to get to here. Time running out. 15 seconds left in this session, but that may actually close things out here for this Q session. And with 5 seconds remain, that's going to wrap up qualifying. A lot of drivers didn't run a lap or clock in a lap. Terry Wilson, Will Jones, Justin Johnson, Rodney Roberts, Mark Truxell, Drew Blaze, and Keenan Kimber to start from the rear. So qualifying in the books, it's time for the race. The Irish Hills 150 starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 37.737 seconds. It's the number 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Sitting on the outside front row, miss it by 31 thousandths of a second. The 73 from Outcast Motorsports, it's Jeremiah Holt. Starting in row number 2, the 86 of Cole Ansley and David Bradford. Row 3 will be Corey Bigley. And from Lone Star Racing, Mike Fahey. Row number 4, Josh Ingram and Brandon Minnick. Row 5, Alan DeFries and Matt Nicholson. Starting in the 11th position, it'll be Chris Klein and Frank Griffin in 12th. AJ Rogers will start 13th. Ken Couch will roll off in the 14th spot. Steve Luttrell, 15th. 16th goes to Jason Steptoe. Terry Wilson will start 17th. Rodney Roberts will start 18th. Will Jones got in the wall twice in his qualifying effort, starting from the back now in 19th. Keenan Kimber will be 20th. 21st starter, the 88 of Drew Blaze. Justin Johnson will start 22nd, and shotgun on the field be the 5 of Mark Truxell. And Zach, we see Mark start from the back in almost all of these races, typically by design. Takes care of his equipment early, usually around there for the finish. We'll keep an eye on the HLC Motorsports machine this evening.
Yeah, he does that a lot. He kind of knows how to time these races, and he'll be there when it matters.
Joined for a couple cars to hit the grid, Jason Steptoe, Rodney Roberts, Keenan Kimber. As soon as they park their cars on the grid, that pace car can forget its countdown and get out onto the speedway. There we go. We got everybody on the starting grid.
A couple last second hot dogs from the hot dog stand.
So we get ready to roll here. We'll take a second look at our race details. 75 laps the distance tonight. 70% fuel on board. 4 tire sets available over the wall. 5 if you count what they're running right now. No fast repairs, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if so needed. Track temperature cooling slightly at 69 degrees Fahrenheit. That'll provide a little extra grip for these drivers and some pace as they work their way through the field tonight. Well, Zach, it's about that time. We got to make a pick here. Once again, as customary, I guess I'll let you go first.
Oh, what a guy, what a guy. I'm torn. I'm really torn. I would hate myself if I didn't go with Mr. David Bradford here, because I know he's good at Michigan. I know he's patient. He kind of checks all the boxes that needs to get a W here. And between him and Drew Blaze, to keep that momentum going for the LSR guys, that's a tough pick. I'm just going to kind of cheat and go by the starting grid here. I know Drew Blaze is starting back there on purpose, but I'm going to go with old David Bradford here in the Crown Royal machine. All
right, David Bradford for Zach Millett. I'm going to vote here. I'm going to throw some cards on the table and just gamble. It's going to be Bobby Hamilton Jr. turns his luck around here tonight in the Irish Hills. He'll pick up the win here tonight.
That'd be good to see. It would be good to see.
Pace car making its way down into pit lane. We're ready for the start here from Michigan Speedway. The Irish Hills 150 about to get underway.
Green flag.
Clean so far as they roll down into turns 1 and 2. Bobby Jr. with the advantage over Jeremiah Holt. Holt slides back into the clutches of David Bradford. Spilling out now into the back straightaway. Bobby's clear of second place. Keeps it in the middle there, trying to decide what lane he wants. Opts for the outside to set himself up for turn number 3. Off turn number 4, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. continues to lead. He'll clock in lap number 1. Now battle for second. Bradford, Mike Fahey, Jeremiah Holt all mixed up together. Fahey in some new colors this week.
Yeah, Fahey always got those good-looking cars, doesn't he? It seems like every week he comes out with something new. Does a good job.
Bradford with a good run down the backstretch, but no help really from the 4 of Nicholson. He'll end up losing a little ground as they roll into turn number 3. Fahey now up to the 2nd spot.
And this is one of those really heavily draft-dependent tracks, so anytime you see a car kind of choose to go with somebody, usually that's the line that's going to go forward.
We talked about that a little bit at the post-race interviews last week, how it's not quite a super speedway. We even mentioned it in the open as we see a little bit of contact there. It looks like with the 81 of Brandon Minnick, I think that might have been Colt Ansley that got involved there, maybe Jeremiah Holt. But back to the topic at hand, this place drafting kind of like a super speedway, but not quite the distance, so they're not restricted, quote-unquote, so to speak. This guy's got some power to get up off the corners, make passes if need be, as we have a battle for the race lead. 3-wide battle. Fahey on the bottom, Bradford up in the middle, and Bobby Jr. up top. Bradford tried to slot down in front of the 19, not quite clear. He's got Corey Bigley all over the back bumper as they roll into turn number 1.
Well, so much for that P word there, Steve. No patience here. Everybody wants to get up to that clean air, and I don't blame him. David Bradford to the front.
I wonder how much of this is like, okay, well, if I'm in a position where I can jump into the race lead, let's see what the car does in clean air. Can I get away? These opening laps of these races tend to be competitive practices, I guess you could call it. Just trying to see what your car will do when everybody's out there actually racing you. Frank Griffith stuck in the middle here with Jeremiah Holt. Holt has dropped back quite a bit since the opening start. He's lost 11 positions, and that number may increase as we get to the end of this lap. Griffith goes by, the 51 on the outside. That's Chris Klein. He'll go on by. Klein gets the wall, saves the car, though. Almost got into the 73 of Jeremiah Holt. Meanwhile, Bobby Hamilton Jr. going to maintain the top spot with Bradford in second. Bigley third. Matt Nicholson and Mike Fahey going to round out the top 5.
Yeah, Bobby Hamilton got a pretty good run there coming off for the last lap and decided to pull down and go right back into the lead. See, Bradford had kind of similar run there, but he chose to kind of check up and notice how he's a car length further down the track getting that clean air.
Nicholson chasing the car off turn number 2, had to check up a bit to stay off the door, I believe, of Corey Bigley. Now he's got Alan DeFries to the outside as he's lost some ground. Colt Ansley now challenging as well.
That's that lack of draft there. I mean, when you see him come off turn 4 here and nobody's going with him, you could just see all the track position he's going to lose.
Nicholson, his case, it looked like he was tight, then loose, then tight, then loose. Dirty air really wreaking havoc on that number 4 Chevrolet.
I'm telling you, it's every update with iRacing lately, the dirty air just gets worse and worse and worse. And we were just in a truck session for the TCSP guys, and the dirty air over there at Indy is just incredible. So I imagine it's roughly the same for these guys.
David Bradford out of line looking for second on Corey Bigley. Bigley up to the top in the Red Bull number 58. Work off of turn number 4. Bobby Jr. still well in hand.
We'll see Bradford pull back up into the draft here once Bigley goes by him.
Bradford's pulling the draft off to 25, and then Dave had that spot, but Bobby moved up the racetrack, took it away, but they're in the corner now. This actually may be a bit of an assist for Bradford because now you want the air on the nose of your car. Help that thing turn through turns 1 and 2, and back in the pack. One driver out of shape. I think it might have been Will Jones.
Spreading out here, all trying to get by it.
Don't know if Jones was making evasive action or if there was contact that forced him down, but he keeps it going. Still finds himself back in 13th. 6 positions gained on the day, so keep an eye out for that number 46 machine.
Well, I tell you another thing, Steve. It's good to see that X on the side of that Johnson car. It just seems way more normal to see it on there.
Can't tell me he doesn't listen to the broadcast. It's Corey Bigley making a move for the race lead on Bobby Jr. off turn number 2, side by side. Bobby will have the run down the backstretch. We'll see if he can defend. There you see it again, Zach. The draft just non-existent for Bigley. No help for the 58. He'll settle into second. Has room there if he wants to slide up in front of David, but cautiously gives the 13 some space.
Yeah, he really did Bradford a gift there and didn't slide up ahead of him. And, I mean, just look at the ground you lose here. You see the Fahey getting by, no problem.
Might have made some contact with Alan DeFries there, trying to get back up into line. Bigley will settle in fourth now. 56 to Josh Ingram in tow.
The further we get into this run, Steve, oh, you got some cars on the wall.
Cole
that are coming
Ansley in
off
the
too.
fence. Shot down the track, got into it. Looks like Brandon Minnick. Maybe it was Drew Blaze. Yeah, it was Drew Blaze.
Man, hopefully it doesn't have any damage on that thing. That's probably going to be the biggest part of chaos
big
here
trouble.
today.
Jeremiah
big
Holt
wreck.
in the fence.
Oh, he collects another.
Keenan Kimber gets collected. There was another driver involved too. Didn't catch it as I was changing cameras, but no caution still. We stay green.
Man,
Keenan Kimber with a mechanical black flag. Jeremiah Holt significantly damaged, but nothing required at this point. But Kimber in trouble. He'll have to come to pit lane. Right front suspension certainly damaged. Nose missing off the car. He'll have to come to pit lane here under the green flag, and extensive repairs likely necessary to get this thing back in the hunt.
yeah, that thing is just about shot. It's going to be pretty tough to get that thing to pit road.
Meanwhile, out front, the battle continues. Bradford now with the race lead. Fahey along Bobby Jr. for second. Fahey way up the racetrack. I guess this place is just too fun not to try and race.
Yeah, it's super tempting every lap. I mean, it's just so wide. I mean, there's room for everything.
Fahey decides to drop out of line here. Maybe not liking the aggressiveness at the front of the field. He'll slow down just a touch. Now runs in front of the 88 of Drew Blaze. Now up the racetrack a little bit. Bunch of Lone Star Racing drivers all trioed together. He was kind of in the sandwich between Minnick and Blaze. We'll check up a slight bit here. Let those two go on by. Ingram to the outside. Frank Griffith pushing him.
The further we get into this run, Steve, the harder that inside lane is going to be to make any kind of pass. That top line is just going to be so momentum based, it's going to be pretty difficult to get by.
Checking out Justin Johnson here, up 9 positions, and yes, running the X. Roman numeral number 10 on that Dadbot Ford Mustang. Oh, big time wiggle out of Drew Blaze off of turn number 2. A little loose on corner exit for the 88 machine.
Little teammate action there as Minnick gets up behind Drew Blaze, gives him a little help down the front straightaway.
Quickly up the racetrack to block the run from the 86 of Cole Ansley, but now to the outside of the 86 comes Justin Johnson. Colt with a run down the back. He'll get to the inside of Drew Blaze. Blaze with no drafting help out in front to suck him along. Now Minnick drops down in front. That'll slow the drop from Drew Blaze. So you got Minnick, Johnson, Blaze all in the frame.
Johnson kind of decides to go to the top side over his teammate Minnick there. Ooh, maybe that's why a couple connection issues there for Brandon Minnick.
Like Fahey back there in the mix as well. It seems like those guys are trying to stick together, at least for the time being. Kind of, as DW would say, some co-opetition.
Lots of sparks up there, Steve. What do we got? 54 car dropping back here.
Frank Griffith, a little bit off the pace. Don't know if he caught the wall, broke his momentum. He seems to be in throttle now. No issues so far. Wow, real loose in front of Minnick. Might have been a little contact from the 81.
Somebody, oh, big wreck here, Steve. Off
Big
too.
trouble. Griffith's in it.
Temps real quick and then tell me what you got.
Big mess here on the backstretch. First caution of the night. We saw it starting to unfold as we rode on board with Frank Griffith.
That's the problem here, Steve, with this track being so wide. There's so much runoff area down on the bottom here that when you see the wreck happen, a lot of people don't really check up. They just kind of turn left and floor it, and I think it cost a lot of guys there.
See if we can catch where this one kicked off from. Josh Ingram, Chris Klein, Will Jones, Frank Griffith all involved. This is off turn number 2. Watch the 56 top of the racetrack working to the outside of Corey Bigley. Just got loose.
Yeah, it looks like Bigley checked up, saw him up there, but yeah, he just got loose and overcorrected, and just tough spot here, Steve. Lots of cars here. But look at everybody shoot down to the bottom and stay in it. There's 1, 2, 3 cars involved. Man. Still some cars coming in pretty hot.
Second angle here again off turn number 2.
Man, that thing steps right out.
Josh just loses it there right on exit. Jones gets clipped. There's a lot of net code to clip Jones. Alan DeFreeze in this.
A lot of modifieds.
Yeah. A lot of paperweights.
Well, if this was real life, I'd be down in the pits trying to get some front clips.
Yeah, no kidding. I think Drew Blaze got a piece of this as well.
It's hard to tell with the reflection.
That's Drew Blaze, yeah.
Oh,
it is. Blaze.
Thing's torn up. That right front is just barely hanging on.
Pit stop's underway. Everybody's going to come down here. We completed about 20 laps to this point. Bradford out first, and he'll beat Bobby out. I think he crossed the stripe there prior to the 25, even though Bobby had that number 1 stall. Bobby a 1/10 of a second slower pit stop than David Bradford. The big change there, Bradford 44.32 seconds on pit lane versus Bobby's 45.18. There was the difference. So those involved in that crash with a mechanical black flag, the proverbial meatball flag, was Drew Blaze, Chris Klein, Josh Ingram. Of course, other drivers involved, but with less damage to be concerned with. I don't think anybody got out of that without something significant, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is just one of those tracks that even with a little bit of aero damage, you're going to be off pace pretty significantly.
Chris Klein definitely not happy in the chat. Says, I give up every week. Same team, same result for me. Let's take a look here again here at Chris Klein's perspective. Watch the 51.
Man, it's just tough luck here. He's right behind it, unfortunately.
It's not that Josh did anything wrong there. It's just the car got loose on him at the end. There you see the rest of it. Nowhere for Chris to go.
Just one of those things, unfortunately. You get in kind of a funk, you know, and it gets hard to dig yourself out of this kind of bad luck. But, I mean, it can be done. I mean, look at Bobby Hamilton up there, P2 right now. He's had nothing but bad luck recently, so it's one of those things.
Well, still plenty of racing to go for Bobby before he can officially turn his luck around. Hopefully we can see him do that here tonight. Even if it's not a win, just a top 5 would be some pretty good medicine for the H&H Unlimited Chevrolet.
Yeah, maybe a P2 right behind Bradford so I keep my streak going.
Yeah, well.
We'll see.
Ready for the restart here at Michigan Speedway. Pace car lights are out, so next time a cross-start finish, we'll be back in anger yet again. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
One driver bottom of the racetrack didn't catch who it is. It might be Rodney Roberts in the 11. Indeed it was. Jumped down to the bottom of the racetrack, gained some ground, but hasn't picked up as many spots as we would have expected to see with no drafting help. Now the inside lane led by Corey Bigley, trying to make some hay on the bottom in the 4th position. Bradford still leads, swaps lanes, did not provide a draft to the 25. One car in defense, I think it was Jason Steptoe in the 50. And Bobby Jr. going to the inside for the race lead.
See, Bradford kind of gets back into the gas here pretty quick, though. He might make Bobby regret that decision.
Board with Mike Fahey, working to the outside of Bobby Jr. Bobby's got him clear, but no, Fahey's going to swap lanes. Does he go to the inside? No, he'll stay tucked in behind. Now Bobby going back for the hunt back to the front of the field as Bradford's topside and losing ground. Fahey stays in behind the 13 machine. We'll see if he's got to worry about anybody else in the bottom. It's Brandon Minnick. Minnick likely to show a little bit of common courtesy to Lone Star Racing driver Mike Fahey, as Fahey has a whale of a run down the back straightaway. Bigley with a run off turn 4.
Probably going to see Minnick here tucked in behind Fahey, try to give him a boost down the straightaway.
Or not.
Or not.
Sorry about your luck.
See you later.
Fahey slips to P6 where he started, now battles alongside Rodney Roberts in the number 11 machine topside. Bobby Jr. Again back out in front, maintaining the race lead by a quarter second over Bradford and Bigley.
Man, Fahey moved up in front of Rodney Roberts. It must have been an inch, if that.
And
tight.
they're still going at it, banging doors down into turn number 1. Roberts wasn't too happy about it.
No, I don't think he was. I think he thinks Fahey kind of chopped him there. But the thing is, if there's an open slot in the top lane, you got to get up there.
Let's watch
it again
this
right
now.
there.
Let's see if Roberts will drive a little further into the corner. No, he checks up. Patience, the better part of valor there for the 11 of Rodney Roberts. He showed his displeasure and moved on. Now Bradford going back for the race lead again.
Everybody wanting that top lane. Look at him go right on by.
Had a few lead changes so far. 5 at the line so far. 1 caution for 3 laps with David Bradford currently out in front. Bigley chopping the nose off Mike Fahey as they run down into turn number 3. It was close quarters, but he was clear. No contact made.
Kind of a clever move here by Bradford, kind of pulling down, letting the inside lane suck up with a draft. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Bobby Hamilton and Can't quite see who. Maybe Rodney.
Roberts running to the outside of Bobby, now to the outside of Minnick, and sliding it off of turn number 2. He hangs on to it. Alfie Sharon in the chat says, I may have to come out of retirement and race some. You're absolutely right. Get your butt in here.
There's no may about it. You get in here, man. It'd be good to see you out on track again.
Quitters never win, Alfie. David continuing to lead, but at this point, Zach, I just got to wonder how hard David's pushing. It seems like if you want to maintain the race lead, you really got to go 10 tenths to do so.
You got to go at least half this run pretty hard to keep that top spot. I mean, it gets harder to pass the later you go, so you just keep that top spot. I mean, that's everything. And see, he's doing all the right things by pulling down, giving Bigley a little bit of a pull. If he gets beside Fahey, it's only going to slow them both up. So it's kind of a clever move here.
Something we see quite often on the super speedways. We remember watching back in the day, if you're old enough to remember back to Dale Jr. winning all those races on the super speedways. Yeah, they had great race cars, but he definitely knew how to work the draft, and he kind of did the same thing. He'd move to the inside, pull that lane along for just a minute or two, and then switch lanes to do the same. Kind of force those guys behind him to stay lined up. As the caution comes back out, and Jason Steptoe in trouble. Problems, it appears, off of turn number 2. Doesn't look significant. I don't see a whole lot of damage to the 50 machine, if any.
Hoping the right side of the car looks just as good as the left here. He's still pretty shiny. I don't know. It looks pretty good.
Well, let's go back and look. It's running near Colt Ansley. Justin Johnson in behind. Justin seems to be having a little issue there, but he straightens it out, and Steptoe just comes around by his lonesome. It's crazy. The incident we had earlier on in the race didn't bring out a yellow, but this one does somehow.
Yeah, it's very strange. Multiple cars the first one, too, and then this one's just a single car off the racing line. And it still brings it out. That's very strange.
A little better angle on it here, closer up. You can kind of see the car start to step out right about here. And then Jason wisely just locks it down. He's got a little bit of right turn into it to straighten it out as best he can, but not too much, just to tank slap it up in front of traffic. Locks it down and keeps it off the fence. So it looks like Steptoe will continue on with nothing hurt more than his pride.
Well, it just goes to show you that these guys aren't just out here full throttle turning left. I mean, it takes some craft to get these cars around this track, so.
Turn right to go left.
Turn right to go left and close your eyes and hope for the best.
Pit road open. Just about everybody's going to come down here. Bradford will lead them down. Remember, he won the race off of pit road the last opportunity these guys came down to pit. Less time in the pit lane overall, and a slightly quicker pit stop than Bobby Jr., who had that number 1 pit stall. Jeremiah Holt still sits in his pit box with the nose tore off the 73 machine. His chances of winning out the window. Keenan Kimber, sorry, looks like Josh Ingram the same. Fahey out of there quickly, in a hurry. He'll jump up to the race lead. 2-tire stop for the 19.
Looks like Brandon Minnick might have beat Bradford out there, too. Going to have a couple LSR cars here in the front row. Something very familiar about that paint scheme there on the 81 there, Steve.
Yes, it does look very, very familiar.
Big fan. Looks great.
So front row, when we get ready to get racing yet again here, it'll be Mike Fahey and Brandon Minnick. Minnick in the 81, Fahey down low in the United Rentals, number 19. But keeping in mind, they did not take 4 tires. Everybody else did. Now, I haven't looked too closely what the tire fall off is here, Zach, but as far as running the Gen 7 car, is it significant or is it kind of moot?
Well, I'm trying to think if it'd be closer to the Gen 7 or possibly even the old Gen 6 there, but it's going to be pretty much the same in the aspect of that right rear kind of disappearing into a run. But it looks like these guys push pretty hard for at least 10 laps. We'll have to see if we can get a run a little longer than that. We'll see if the drop-off plays any kind of factor.
Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. 1 to go to green. The next time by, we'll be back racing. And again, it'll be Brandon Minnick, Mike Fahey. Fahey was, well, we thought he was first off pit lane, and you said it was Minnick, right?
No, it was Fahey out first, but Minnick just barely squeezed by Bradford.
So it looks like Fahey will opt for the outside on the restart. That is the option that this series provides to the race leader on the restarts. You get to pick your lane. They don't do a choose per se, but the leader does get lane choice.
Got to give a shout out to old Fahey tonight, man. He is looking good. Anybody come in here to watch him wreck, they're going to be kind of disappointed. But
race ain't over yet.
Yeah, he's got lots of time left to do it, but so far he's looking good out here.
I don't know if Chris Fahey's here watching, but there's still time.
We'll see how the LSR guys do here on the front row. They, two of the best looking mustaches in the field.
Quick recap as we're ready for the restart. 5 lead changes still, 2 cautions for 6 laps. Mike Fahey will lead them to green. So we're just shy of halfway. Green flag back in the air. Fahey gets away as Minnick has to wait. And just like that, the new tires on Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s machine's going to rocket him back to the race lead off turn number 2.
There's no lifting for that 25 car in turn 1, was there?
Fahey able to battle back as no draft assist for the 25 of Bobby, but Bobby shortens up the lap a little bit, goes way to the bottom in 3 and 4, tries to come up and slide in front of the 19, but not clear just yet. They remain side by side. Now Minnick runs in behind the 25.
Comes a helping hand from David Bradford. He's going to shove that 19 even further towards turn 1.
Saw Bradford kind of cheat to the left a little bit there. Thought about diving down in front of Bobby Jr., but thought better of it. But now they're 3 wide for the second spot off turn number 2. Chris Fahey in the chat. She's like, I'm watching, but shh. Bradford now puts the pressure on Mike Fahey off turn number 4 and powers down off of 4. Still no help with the draft. He's going to lead the lap, but can he get clear into 1?
I don't think so. He might lose some ground here for that top line. Looks like he might be able to slot in here behind the 19 if he gets up there quick enough, and yes.
Oh, Colt gives him an inch of room and nothing more. Gives him a shot as well, as Colt never going to lift in that circumstance. Will still hit you square. On board with Mike Fahey yet again. And Mike's driving it way deep into the corner. Now watch the 13. Let's see if he can battle back here on the outside or just tuck back in. David really backed up his entry. I thought he would have had a bigger run because of it. He's got it now into 3. Still not quite enough. David leads him to the line. Talked about that a bunch too, Zach. Is some of this kind of practice for the last lap of the race? If you're in position, maybe run in second spot, try to see, all right, well, maybe I can't complete the pass, but as long as I can be a foot in front of that guy in second, I can win this thing.
Yeah, and it's one thing you can do here at Michigan when you're coming into turn 1. You can kind of slide down the guy on top. The pace difference when you get off of turn 2 is going to be so significant. It might add up to some problems later.
We're past halfway here at Michigan Speedway. Bradford back to the race lead. Bobby Jr. hounding Mike Fahey for the second spot. We're going to take our only break. It'll be side by side. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Michigan Speedway, the Irish Hills 150 PSRA Open ARCA Series. Caution number 3 on the Speedway for Steve Luttrell. If you stepped away in the side-by-side, we showed the replay there, but we'll show it one more time here on the full screen just to give you an idea of what put us under our third yellow. The 36 there on the bottom of the racetrack got in the wake of Brandon Minnick, and it just came around on him. He almost had it saved here. Little overcorrect. Another quick overcorrect again back to the inside. We were saying to each other during the break, lucky for Mark Truxell, it didn't go up the racetrack. No damage to anybody here. Again, just some hurt pride. But Zach, you kind of said it there in the break. We're going to see more and more of this as the tires start to wear off, burn that right rear. It's going to get a little more exciting trying to get out of the corner.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was about the same time in the run, too, that happened the first time in the exact same spot. So, yeah, so they're only going to get harder to drive the more heat they put on both sides.
So pit lane open. Everybody's going to come on down.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Ford tires just about front to back here.
Now, I got to say, with Fahey's 2-tire stop, he did a good job hanging in there. He maintained the second position till this pit stop, so we'll see if anybody gambles this time for 2. I don't know if we're quite... Well, we might be good for fuel at this point if we can make it to the end without another incident.
It might be pretty tight.
70% load. About 31 laps from the finish. So it does appear that everybody went with 4 this time. Does that set these guys up for a 2-tire stop late?
Yeah, I would imagine if all they need is just a little splash to make it. But even if there's a late caution, I mean, that really opens the door for a 2-tire pit stop. Everybody was kind of watching Fahey's car and how it would react. And he stayed up there pretty darn good.
I don't know, Zach. I mean, have you been looking at the fall off at all? Does anybody go fuel only at the end of this thing?
You know, I haven't really looked at it because we haven't had enough laps in a stint yet to really see anything. But, I mean, the draft is so dependent, you know, and the track position is everything. You get back there in the wake and it just kills your tires being in dirty air the whole darn time. I'm starting to think the 2 tires to get the track position and just stay up there in the top lane, and I think that might be the key.
Well, we're going to find out. 45 laps complete of 75 as we're ready for the restart. Again, pace car lights out. David Bradford and Corey Bigley on the front row. Bigley's shown a lot of pace here tonight. Not a ton of it as the race leader, but right there in the mix for certain.
Now, how many laps were we thinking for a tank here?
Full load of fuel, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gotten a fuel window from anybody. If anybody's out there that knows the fuel window in the chat, let us know.
Because you might see some guys, if it's that tight, I mean, if you're a half a lap, maybe even a lap short, you might see some guys here just kind of checking up and playing in the draft half throttle to save enough to make it here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that close, if you're within half a lap, absolutely.
But it's going to be funny. It'll be a battle to not be in the lead, ironically.
David Bradford, Corey Bigley will lead them down as the pace car is going to head to pit lane. Wrapping up caution number 3 of the evening.
Green flag.
Bradford really checks out here through 1 and 2. I think that's almost too good of a restart for David. It's going to open the door for Fahey and Bigley. And again, Fahey out there on new tires now, not just 2.
Yeah, it's kind of familiar to like Talladega where you get too much of a restart and the pack just kind of reels you in too quick.
Chris Klein in the chat letting us know the fuel window's between 23 and 26 laps, depending on how you run it. And we're coming to 27 to go, so it's going to be tight.
Ooh, that is tight. We're going to have 2 groups here. The first group, full send, planning on maybe a splash and go if it stays green, take 2 tires, whatever they're going to do, and then the other group, save and fuel.
Well, that was going to be my next comment, is it's close enough that you may actually see somebody opt for a splash and go instead of right sides only. If you only need a couple of seconds of fuel, there's no sense in burning 8 to 9 seconds on right sides as well. Just get right back out there, hope somebody else doesn't pick up on the strategy and does the opposite, and then hope the caution doesn't come out.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we get a caution here anytime, even this lap, I mean, you're going to see everybody come in.
Bigley running third with Bobby Jr. applying pressure. Justin Johnson, though, showing his face into the top 5 for the first time tonight.
That momentum, that LSR momentum is just a thing, man. It keeps coming. These guys are looking great out there tonight.
Back down to the line, David Bradford in charge. 25 laps to go. Mike Fahey is second. Corey Bigley third. Bobby Jr. fourth or fifth, depending on where they are on the racetracks. He runs side by side with Justin Johnson. Low side of the racetrack now. Cole Ansley trying to make his way back towards the front. That's the question, Zach. Do we make it to the end here without another driver losing it off a corner when that right rear gets hot, heated up, and wore out? Can these guys hang on to a checkered flag without another yellow?
There's just no way to know. No way to know. I mean, it's happened twice already. Just tells you how hard these things are to drive late in a run.
Oh, door-to-door contact. Justin Johnson and Bobby Hamilton Jr. as they come across start-finish line. Johnson in the fence off turn number 2. Scrapes it a little bit, throws some sparks, but keeps going and maintains his spot ahead of the 25. I don't know, Zach. Justin's got a fast race car. He's making some moves here as he's looking for third.
Yeah, he kind of peeked down, had a run on Bigley, but giving up that top side, you can see Bobby already kind of got a run there. We'll see what he looks like coming off 2 here.
Bobby maintains in the 5th position. Bradford hangs on to the lead, but Mike Fahey all over the back bumper of David Bradford. But Zach, you said it earlier. I think David's just going as fast as he has to, just enough to keep ahead of the 19 and keep the field in tow. But again, we're back to another fuel mileage race here at Michigan Speedway. We talked to David Bradford off air last week, and he was just kind of defeated. Another race lost due to fuel mileage and strategy. Didn't work out for him last week. Hopefully he can turn that around this week, but he's out front, so he's going to be the one that's going to need to make that decision as to when to pit. Do I wait till the bitter end, the last minute of the capacity of that fuel cell? Do I wait for a caution? When do you make that decision?
That's the thing. You can't do both. I mean, if you're out there leading the field like he is, you know, making still pretty good time, he's not saving a thing up there, pushing all the air. He's going to have to pit, absolutely, unless somehow he's saving that extra lap of fuel, but I don't see it. A lot of these guys back in the draft could be saving, though.
You know, we talked about you trying not to lead the race, just to try and not be that first car in the pack, so you're not using all that fuel, all that horsepower that everybody else behind you can kind of lift a little bit because you've got a car in front of you punching a giant hole in the air for you. Bradford does seem content. We know how difficult it was to make passes on the racetrack, especially for the lead, especially without help. So I think Bradford's mindset here is, well, I'm just going to make my bed and lay in it here, stay out front because I know how difficult it's going to be to take the position back. Track position really important right now.
The thing is, too, sorry, Steve, if you're sitting back in 10th place, just half throttle, you know, trying to save as much as you can, and that caution does come out, you're going to be stuck back there, man. You're going to have everybody doing a sprint to the end, and you're stuck in traffic.
Speaking of sprinting, Bobby Hamilton Jr. on rails again, goes to the low side of the track for the 2nd position on Mike Fahey. He's clear now, and he'll slide up across the nose of the 19 and take the spot. Want to make mention here, David Bradford, very well versed on open setup racing. He's a setup developer, or at least was, as some drivers coming together. Ken Couch and Cole Ansley off turn 2. They straighten things out, but Bradford well versed in that category and started to open the door a bit to help some of these drivers in different things and what to change. Lots of different strategies and tactics that you can apply towards open setup racing. He's helped all of the drivers here, or at least offered his assistance to all of them. So you're seeing that that's helping a lot of these guys. A lot of guys are picking up the pace. Mike Fahey, certainly one of them that's learned quite a bit here in the last couple of weeks. He's gotten faster, gotten cleaner as he gets the wall. As soon as I say that, and he gets into Corey Bigley, we got a melee on the backstretch. Clips Matt Nicholson. Mark Truxell's going to snake his way through, but the caution is out again with less than 19 laps to go.
Man, that took out a lot of good cars. And the fuel mileage is out the window just like that, Steve.
Well, that's going to make David Bradford happy as far as that aspect is concerned. But looking at the Fahey machine, right rear corner tore up, left front fender damage, and it doesn't appear like that thing is towed in the right direction, or at least too far in the right direction. Damage on the right front as well, so Fahey coming to pit lane. Justin Johnson badly damaged.
Yeah, the whole front clip missing on the 10 car. Definitely got some wheel damage there. Ooh, big time.
He's going to blame me for all this.
Probably.
Because as I was saying, even cleaner. He gets the fence, and then the wreck is on. Chris, you can blame me for it. It's fine. Well, let's get a look at it. It did seem to originate here with the 19 getting in the fence.
Yeah. You see you get in that wall, it just kind of chews you up and spits you out. Dirty air off 25 just really made the front end of that car push.
Shoots him down into Corey Bigley. Bigley didn't even see him coming. Justin Johnson almost got through, but got a bigger chunk than it looked.
AJ Rogers, just perfect timing there.
Matt Nicholson, he'll get a big piece of Bigley there, and
Yeah.
I think that contact may have been the only thing that saved Truxell there, because Bigley was coming back down the racetrack in the path of the 5.
Yeah, you know, it's a shame, too, because I don't think Corey had that much damage off the wall. I mean, he probably had some scrapes and stuff, but I don't think he had wheel damage. I think it was that last bit of contact that really cost him.
Final pit stops of the night likely here. Bobby Jr. right side's changed already. Sunoco race fuel going in. 4-tire stop for the H&H Unlimited Chevrolet SS. Drops the jack, heads back out. 14:47 for Bobby Jr. A fast stop, and I think he's going to beat the 13 out.
Unfortunately for Bobby, looks like there's a 2-tire pit stop.
Brandon Minnick takes 2. Will get out in front of everybody else. We saw how effective that was for Mike Fahey earlier on in the run. A Lone Star Racing driver opting for the same strategy here late at Michigan. But I'll say this too, Zach. You remember how quickly on the restart Bobby was able to run down the leaders from about a 4th or 5th place restart position. In this case, he's going to start here on the front row with the 81. Yes, he's going to be at the initial disadvantage, but he's going to be wide open through turns 1 and 2, where I don't think Minnick's going to be able to do the same.
Yeah, I think you're right. Even if Minnick could do it maybe a lap or 2, the 2 tires will definitely show their face, you know, once you get into like the 3rd lap or so. And those 4 tires are just going to be singing.
Should be getting the restart with about 15 laps to go. So lights on the pace car should be off this time. Yes, indeed. So 1 to go to green here at Michigan. Looks like Minnick's going to take the outside. Bobby will shuffle down to the bottom. That'll be David Bradford and A.J. Rogers in row 2, and then Ken Couch and Mark Truxell in row 3. Well, so far, Zach, our 2 picks are still in it.
Yeah, it's nice to see the broadcaster curse kind of lift for a little while. But...
Well, I don't think Fahey would agree, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Didn't mean it. In all seriousness, we were talking during the break. Man, it'd be cool to see the 19 pick up a win here. He's had some struggles this season, but as we were saying right before the crash, he's been getting a lot faster, and he's cleaned up the act a little bit. Would have been a deserving win if he could have finished it off, but not today.
Even with just like the choices he was making, like in every run, you know, just staying with certain cars and not just ducking out to try to make a pass. He was staying tucked in a lot of time and just stayed right up front. He looked good tonight, real good.
Pace car heads to pit lane, ready for the restart here at Michigan. 4th restart of the afternoon. Bobby Jr. on the inside, Minnick up top.
Green
Minnick
flag.
the control car, green flag in the air. Minnick fires off, no issues there. I don't think he spun the tires at all, but Bobby with a great reaction. Better reaction out of David Bradford as he takes a peek to the inside of Bobby Jr. Maybe nothing doing, but no. Trying to make a decision is the 25. They're side by side through turn 1.
4 tires going to be wide open here. Look like Bobby Hamilton is already clear.
Bobby Jr. to the race lead as Minnick shuffled back to P3 alongside David Bradford. Bradford also on 4 fresh tires. And Nicholson slow on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll come to pit line. Terry Wilson at the moment off of turn 4 as well. Frank Griffith involved. Jeremiah Holt back on the racetrack. So 12 and a half laps to go. Bobby Hamilton Jr. out in front. Minnick back to second. It just seems like once you get heat back into the tire, the 2-tire change doesn't seem to be hurting Minnick as much as we thought it would. Was able to hold off the charge from Bradford, and now David's lost a spot to A.J. Rogers, and now fights with 86 of Cole Ansley.
Yeah, it looks like Bradford just stuck on that bottom line. Everybody's just kind of training on the top line right by him. He's lost a ton of spots since the restart.
Well, that's just it. I mean, it's not that everybody has a problem with David Bradford, but they know he's fast and they don't want to help him as Rogers gets loose. Up the racetrack into the fence, everybody scatters, and we continue on with no crash.
Dave Bradford's like, this inside lane isn't so bad after all. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Inches between Bradford and Ansley into turn 3. They get through without issue, but now Ken Couch up the racetrack. I got to say that was a masterful save from A.J. Rogers to keep that out of major trouble, though he did lose a ton of ground. He's back into 5th.
Could have been worse, that's for sure. But boy, it's tight back here.
Battle for the lead. Brandon Minnick going back to the point underneath Bobby Hamilton Jr. Slide job up the racetrack and takes the spot. Crossover from Bobby Jr. down the back straightaway with 11 laps to go. He's got a nose alongside. Can he keep it there through turns 3 and 4?
It's exactly what Bradford and Colt Ansley wants to see. Want to see these guys battling so they can catch them up here.
Gets
Actually,
them
looks like
right
Minnick
back
flashing.
into the fight. David Bradford, Cole Ansley, the top 4. Bobby changes lanes to break the draft from Minnick. Minnick doesn't chase. Truxell now making some moves here, trying to take the spot from A.J. Rogers and Mike Fahey. Fahey somehow managed to stay on the lead lap, didn't sustain terrible damage on the 19. Brilliantly able to get that car fixed to have at least an opportunity at a solid finish. Nine laps to go for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Now Minnick does give chase to the 25 down the racetrack, but again, Zach, as you keep pointing out, every time they do that, it allows 3rd and 4th to get caught back up and become part of this battle.
Yeah, they almost gained a 10th on the straightaway alone just from them kind of sneaking back and forth.
Bradford nose alongside Minnick down the back straightaway, now tucks back in behind. Zach, what do you think? Is he going to need some help to get clear of the 81 there?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if the tires hang on. I mean, you can see the drive that Bradford has against that 81 car. I mean, such a good drive in the middle and exit, but that top lane, unfortunately, is just it's where the draft is. And Bradford really needs the help to complete that pass. See if he sends it in here in 1.
Saw a different technique there out of David Bradford. He dropped it way down to the bottom of the racetrack, almost to the apron, just kind of anticipating Bobby Jr. to snake down to the bottom again and just kind of provide the draft for him rather than chase him, get there first. Didn't really work out as he's now battling for the 3rd spot with Cole Ansley again. Minnick back to 2nd.
Bradford is going to try to slide up in front of Colt there. I'm not sure there's room, though. Makes it happen.
Now you see Rogers and Truxell and Steptoe now becoming part of this pack. Bradford dropping down to low side, trying to take 2nd from Minnick again. Really has a great corner entry over the 2 tires of Brandon Minnick, and he's got him clear before they even get to the exit. In a big run off turn number 2, he's right there, half a car length off the back bumper of Bobby Jr.
He made those tires work that corner. I think we just saw what David Bradford's car can do. He had to make that pass happen. Now he's in a good spot to ride behind Bobby and maybe make the same move to Bobby here towards the end.
Bobby kind of going to the middle just a bit. Now back to the top of the racetrack. Gives the draft back to David Bradford. Minnick back to third, and a big run from Cole Ansley coming up behind. Into turn one, nothing doing there, and maybe some contact. Mark Truxell, a big-time checkup to avoid contact with Jason Steptoe. A masterful job to avoid a crash there by the 5. He's probably not happy about it, but he maintained 7th position and still has a clean race car.
Yeah, it's a good move and lives to fight another day.
Coming to 5 laps to go. Bobby Jr. a little wiggle off turn number 4. I don't know if David loosened him up by being close to him there in the middle of the corner, but now they'll be side by side coming to the line, and Bradford's going to lead this lap.
Minnick is a little too far behind Hamilton for the draft to really help Hamilton here, and Bradford might be able to clear that 25 into 1 here.
David up the racetrack, keeps his line. No, little loose again for Bobby. Right rear starting to get hot on the H&H Unlimited Chevrolet of Bobby Jr. as they run down the back straightaway. David chops it down to the low side, breaks the draft. Now back up the track to set up for 3.
I think we're starting to see, Steve, who's been taking care of that right rear. We're kind of short into the run still, but if you're wide open every lap, it will take effect.
Now 4 laps to go from Michigan. Can Bradford hang on for another 8 miles, or does Bobby Jr. have something more? He's trying. Goes to the bottom. Can he hold it? Has to lift just a bit. David, with a longer radius around the corner, can get back to the gas a little bit sooner. Carries that momentum. Bobby tries to go up the racetrack, but Cole Ansley in the way. Nowhere for him to slot back in. Bradford will go back up in front of Colt.
This is what Bradford wants. He wants those guys going in the corner sideways. Side by side off 4. Looks like that top lane might prevail for Colt again. We'll see. 3 wide.
Brandon Minnick now bottom of the racetrack. 3 wide for the 3rd position. Now 2nd to the 81. Again on 2 tires. Last lap for Brandon Minnick, a 38.24. His fastest of the day in 85.
Minnick just clipped the left rear of Ansley's car. Heck of a job by Colt to hang on to that thing.
Bradford loving what he's seen in the rearview mirror with 2.5 to go. 4.5 tenths the advantage for the 13 machine. Looking for another win.
We haven't seen a lead like this all night, and it's just for those guys battling back and forth, and Bradford's just kind of escaping right now. He looks like he's going to pull down and snake everybody down, try to break the draft all the way to the apron.
Bradford, the points leader with only a singular win on the season so far, has it well in hand with 2 laps to go. 4 tenths back to the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. as he tries to run him down, but I got to wonder, Zach, if he just used it up a little bit too much.
It sure looks like it. Just a little bit of a difference. I mean, it's a game of inches, and that right rear on the 13 machine might just be a little healthier than the 25s.
Bradford off turn number 4, looking for the white flag. Final lap here from Michigan Speedway. Barney pulls it out of the chute. Last lap.
Bobby Hamilton down to 2 tenths behind Bradford. He could get a run off 2 here and make something happen.
Furthest up the racetrack, we've seen him most of the night. Tries to build a big run, and it's coming down here as they roll down the back straightaway. Bobby chases Bradford down to the bottom of the racetrack to keep that draft. Now it's less than 3 tenths. Last time through turns 3 and 4. Can Bradford hang on?
Certainly looks good for him. He drove it in there real tight. He's got about just under 3 tenths of a lead coming off 4.
David Bradford from the 4th spot will take it to victory lane here at Michigan and pick up his 2nd win of the season. Bobby Jr. will finish P2. Cole Ansley will come home in 3rd.
Man, our picks are really making us look good here tonight, Steve.
I mean, we really didn't go out on a huge limb.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Honestly, it didn't look it based on the amount of action we saw, but 46 laps led for David Bradford, a relatively dominant performance here tonight.
Yeah, on paper, it certainly looks good tonight. He led the ones that counted the most, and I don't know, he got the greatest bonus points here tonight, too. I mean, that's a heck of a points night for the 13 car.
Bradford will park it in victory lane here at Michigan. Well, that'll do it here from the Irish Hills. We'll step aside, get our final break out of the way. We'll talk to David, Bobby, and Colt after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Michigan Speedway, the Irish Hills 150 in the books. David Bradford picking up his second win on the season. Started fourth, drove it to the lead, led 46 laps, and eventually the final lap. Let's see if we can get a word to the driver, the number 13, Crown Apple Toyota, David Bradford. David and Steve and Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, guys, I got you.
David, congratulations, man. Not the greatest qualifying effort. Top five, certainly nothing to be upset about, but very quickly put that thing out into the wind. Led the most laps, 46 to be exact, but you had to earn it out there tonight. Everybody was gunning for you there at the end, but you held them off to the finish, won this race. Walk us through your event tonight.
Damn, Steve, you don't cut me no slack, do you, bud? I mean, top five qualifying, but that was bad. I mean, what the hell, man?
I expect better out of you, David.
Well, no, Steve, no. But no, the car was pretty good tonight. I think everybody was fighting kind of the same thing in this place here with these gigantic spoilers. The draft is so much, like that top line, I'm surprised it never single filed out like it should have, and everybody was running around the top, but it seemed like because of the colder weather, guys could make some ground on the bottom and, you know, pick up positions and things like that. But I was kind of worried on that last restart. That was the first restart all night where I actually went backwards. Most of the restarts went forward, and that one, man, I fell back to 6th or 7th, and then they kind of got bottled up on the top and almost spun, and that gave me my shot back through there. I don't think I would have been able to get back through there if there wasn't for that. But no, it was a good night. I hate that Will Jones got tore up early. He had come all the way from like 17th or something like that and was right there on us on lap 20. He had a really good car. We had spent a little extra time with his this week and made sure that his was driving good. So I hate to see that. I know he's had a rough season so far.
Talking about almost spinning the race car out, it seemed like everybody had their hands full out there, especially with the right rear getting warmed up. It seemed like later on in the run, at least, that became a bigger issue. Is that just coming down to setup, how you were driving it? What was the main reason for that here tonight?
The big part of it, Steve, was there was about a 15-mile-an-hour wind getting into turn 3. So it was making the cars push really bad, so everybody was trying to loosen up, but then that would make you so loose for turn 1 and 2 you couldn't drive it. That's what my first stop, I took a quarter round out on both the left and the right side, and it really freed the car up bad. Like the strength I had through 1 and 2 went away, so I actually backed out of and put around back in the right rear just to keep a good center out from there on. And then 3 and 4, I just had to start lifting a little earlier. It seemed like the more I lifted, the sooner I lifted to get the nose pointed in there, the better it was.
A little bit of adjustment throughout the course of the race. It paid off for you. You parked this thing in victory lane as we look forward now to Talladega Super Speedway. A lot of drafting here tonight at Michigan to set us up for that place. It's always a crapshoot out there. I know how you feel about that type of racing, but how do you prepare yourself, not just setup-wise, but even mentally for Talladega?
So there's this awesome place right around the corner. It's a liquor store. And I just figured it out the other day, and there's a bunch of different liquors I haven't seen in a long time in there, so I'll have some of that for next week. But a lot of that stuff, man, I kind of, as much as I hate Daytona and Talladega, I take pride in, you know, sitting on poles and stuff there because it shows who's working on the stuff. Didn't quite get it done at Daytona, even though one of the Toyotas was on the pole, but definitely going to try to get a Toyota on the pole for Talladega as well, and I think the Toyotas really need to work together this week to make sure we got something good for Talladega.
Well, certainly looking forward to it, whether you are or not. It's going to be a fun one to watch here at Track Limits Network. David, congratulations on the race win here, second of the season. Who do you want to thank?
Of course, I got to thank my buddy Will Jones, Derek Runge, my son Braden. He hasn't really gotten to race much, but I know how supportive he is of this stuff. One of these days I'm going to get Will up here with us again. He just had a rough season. You know, great job to Bobby and Colt. I think those are their first podiums of the season here. And just thank him a whole bunch, too, to keep this stuff going. And, you know, be exciting to see what we have going on for next season.
All right, David, we're certainly looking forward to it. Congratulations again. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
David Bradford, race winner here. The Irish Hills of Michigan. Talk to Bobby Hamilton Jr. next. Pull him up into the broadcast booth. Finally turn some of that luck around. We'll get a word with the H&H Unlimited Chevrolet driver, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Bobby, it's Steve and Zach in Track Limits Network booth. You got us?
10-4, guys.
Bobby, congratulations, man. I know it's not the finish you wanted, but certainly it's got to feel good here to not finish this one on the back of a wrecker. Second place finish after putting the car on pole. All in all, a decent night, man. How does it feel to kind of turn things around here at Michigan?
Well, we were all cutting up in the waiting room. That's what I told him. I said, this is the first race I finished all year. If I left here 15th with all the fenders on, I'd have been like, oh, I won the race. So, I mean, I tickled to death. And they get the pole. I don't know where that come from. Led some laps. I thought I had them covered when I was out front. I just got loose that little bit, and it don't take nothing for David to get you. And as soon as he got under me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to sit here, pull my tires back off and try to. But then you had the 86 coming and stuff, and I had to stop, regroup, because I think we're like, I don't know, we're like 93rd out of 23 in points. I mean, we are awful. So I wanted to come out of here with a decent finish, with a little momentum going into Talladega. and try to lead some laps there and try to start turning some stuff around. So hopefully this will do it.
Well, you guys certainly had a solid run here tonight. Before the race got underway during pace laps, as we always do, we made our picks. And finally, my pick and Zach's pick didn't cause major problems for those driver. David was Zach's pick, you were mine, and well, look at that, 1 and 2. So hopefully to carry some of that good luck and momentum into Talladega Super Speedway next week. I know that one's always a crapshoot. That sometimes you're not always in control of your own destiny, but how do you as a driver get ready for that place?
Well, it's just like you said, you're not in control of it, so all you can do is do what you can do. Even in real life, when he was running there in the Busch Series and Cup Series and Truck Series, it was always, we go there with the fastest equipment we can do. There's no riding around, because like right now, we have nothing to lose, so we're going for it. So you want to lead all the laps you can lead and put yourself in position, and try to stay away from the madness that's going to happen, because they are going to wreck. It's just the way the place is. And hopefully, at the end of the day, because that place is all about playing checkers and chess, you got to set it up 3 moves ahead before anybody. And, got out of here with our nose clean, no bloody nose or anything. And if we can get out of there and then we go to Watkins Glen and try to stay on the racetrack, not cut grass all day, I think we turn this thing around.
Well, Bobby, a job well done here tonight. Pole position to runner-up. Congratulations, a solid finish. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just everybody, HH Unlimited. We got 6 more new employees and stuff, and just really been hustling, and the rental game is really taking off really good. And of course, you guys, I have so many compliments how great our broadcast team is, and that's all you, man. And all and I tell him, I said, what was funny from the get-go, where Steve come from, where he is now, I said, he's way underpaid compared to the talent he is, and we're just lucky to have you. So thank you guys and Zach for jumping in there helping me. Both y'all are a great team. Just glad to be a part of it, and also all the guys in the league. I know we tore up a lot of stuff tonight, but they keep coming back. The teams are really strong. They're sharing information. They're learning things, and it's just I'm tickled to death to be here.
All right, Bobby. Well, thank you for the kind words as always, and congratulations again, and good luck next week, man.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all.
Bobby Jr., your runner-up here at Michigan Speedway. Next, we'll talk to the driver number 86, Cole Ansley. Started third, finished third. Can't be too upset about it. He had a fast race car, had to work for it, certainly, but let's see what his take is on his race tonight. Cole Ansley, it's Steve and Zach in the booth. You got us?
Hi, my name's Colt. Nice to meet you.
Colt, how are you, buddy?
It's been a minute.
Congratulations, man. Third place start, third place finish. I mean, you didn't move forward, but you didn't move backward either, so that's something you can certainly be happy about. Walk us through your race. It was a little chaotic back there, some contact made throughout the course of this one, and I think Zach mentioned a crazy save you had there in the closing laps.
I'm glad someone noticed it and appreciated it, because I thought that was the end of my night right there. I chopped the heck out of Brandon, so sorry about that, but I was trying to clear myself, and I was like, maybe if I can get clear of him. I know he was on older tires, and I could maybe have a run at Bobby and David, but by then we got so spread out, and David was running way less drag than we were, so all the Chevy guys were running, so I couldn't reel Bobby in to reel in David, and it's just I was hoping to go back-to-back here at Michigan. Never thought I'd be a 2-mile super speedway type person, but they've kind of grown on me lately. So, yeah, just wasn't quite right. Made a bunch of adjustments, went the wrong way at one point. Thank God we had a short caution to break up that run. But, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I thought I had a chance to win at some point, and then when I about spun out going getting clipped by the 81, I was like, you know what, I need to finish the race.
Well, finish it you did with a solid finish at that. Third place here at Michigan Speedway as we get set here for, well, some deck shufflers. Talladega Super Speedway for one, and then Watkins Glen International after that. We'll talk about Dega first. How do you get yourself set for some legitimate super speedway racing next week?
I mean, there's a little bit of setup work, obviously. These cars are very aero-dependent the more we've worked on them. We thought they were very mechanically, have a lot of mechanical grip in them, but they actually are a lot more aero-dependent than we originally realized. So, going to be doing some aerodynamic work. And, you know, really with the race at Dega, it's no different than really what we were in tonight. It's just be in the right spot, play chess and solve a 1,000-piece puzzle all at the same time and pray a bomb doesn't go off in the middle of it.
Now, Watkins Glen International with these open setups, it's going to be a game changer, I think, for a lot of you guys out there. We know you've got talent on the road courses, whether you like to admit it or not. I've followed you enough times. I've spun you out a couple of times, but you're a fast guy out when you're turning left and right. How do you get set up for that place?
I've got a couple of ideas to test. It's just going to be, some guys are going to treat it like a throwaway race. Some guys are going to treat it like that's their full, their whole season rides on that one race. Just got to find something that's not going to kill me every lap. I don't have to be, running 108s around Watkins Glen in an ARCA car. I can be fine running 115, 116s as long as they're consistent. And in a way, it's almost like a super speedway race. You've got to be there at the end. And heck, I think I spun out last season and nosed it into the turn 1 wall and still finished 4th. So just being there at the end and making the right calls, and the way the past couple of races have gone, maybe there'll be a little strategy in there for me to mess with.
Well, certainly looking forward to these next couple of weeks. Colt, congratulations, 3rd place here at Michigan. Who do you want to shout out to?
Just all the guys at Outcast Racing. Matt Nicholson, our official GM. He's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes when I can't. So he's working really hard. Chris and Jeremiah, they didn't have a great race tonight, but they're always there, willing to work and turn some laps. And all the other Chevy guys, Chevys work really well together. And I got a couple people watching. Hope they enjoyed. And you for putting on a great broadcast, and just all the series partners. And it's been on hiatus a little bit just because of the busy time of year, but the Bump and Run podcast will be making a return eventually, even if it's in a different format, just to be a little more time sensitive. But couldn't do it without everybody here in the league and you for broadcasting.
All right, Colt. Well, congrats again. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
Colt Ansley, 3rd place here at Michigan. That's going to do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's jump over to our race results. Of course, we talked to David Bradford, our race winner. Bobby Hamilton Jr. 2nd. Colt Ansley was 3rd. A.J. Rogers brought it home into a 4th place finish. Brandon Minnick on 2 tires finishes 5th. Mark Truxell from dead last finishes P6. We kind of called that one from the very beginning, Zach. Jason Steptoe was 7th. Ken Couch 8th. Steve Luttrell, after a spin, finishes top 10 and 9th. Mike Fahey, trouble on the racetrack, still with the top 10. A solid recovery for the 19. Terry Wilson, a solid finish out of that number 3. Brought it home 11th. Frank Griffith was 12th. Matt Nicholson came home in the 13th position. Corey Bigley was 14th. 15th, Justin Johnson. 16th finisher was Jeremiah Holt. 17th went to Rodney Roberts. 18th finisher was Drew Blaze. 19th was Alan DeFries. 20th was Chris Klein. 21st finisher Josh Ingram. 22nd was Will Jones after a wreck early. And last but not least, the 65 of Keenan Kimber finishes 23rd. I don't know, Zach, an interesting race. Again, it's, I guess it's super speedway racing, but it's really not meant to be. But it's just how this place runs, this track and car combination with, as I think it was Colt talking about that big wing in the back. I don't even remember who it was at this point, but these things punch a big hole in the air, and it really creates a big wake in behind them. Makes a lot of drafting prevalent here at this speedway as we get set to do more of that next week.
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting. It was like super speedway, racing, but with actual driving involved. So it was kind of neat to see. So we'll see what it kind of turns to next week.
Well, either way, looking forward to it. If you liked what you saw here tonight, don't forget to hit us the thumbs up, that like button in the YouTube platform. Subscribe if you're not already, and share it with your friends if they're at all interested in motorsports and they liked what they saw here tonight. Help us out there. It helps us here at the channel, helps the league as well. Get some fresh eyeballs, maybe some new drivers for next season. But going forward, same time, same channel next week, Talladega Super Speedway. And then February 1st, we're already cruising into next month, Watkins Glen International. I don't know if I'll have you for it, Zach, but it's going to be a shame if not. I'm certainly looking forward to it, even if you're not a road course person out there watching the stream. It's usually a fun broadcast, so tune in for that as well. And all the rest of the races this season, we've got some more racing action coming up on Tuesdays with the Zero X Strategy Series. I believe they're at Texas this week. IROC finished up last week, but they're coming back very soon. I believe they kick off right again in February, but They're going to be on a tape delay for a little while, and then we're going to do some switching around. Rock will be on the Tuesday night slot, and I believe Zero X will switch over to Monday. That's not confirmed yet, but that is the goal and hopefully the plan, so we don't have to worry about dropping that coverage, because that is a wonderful series to watch and cover here at Track Limits. So with all that said, congratulations to our top three, David Bradford, Bobby Jr., and Cole Ansley. For Zach Millett, I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.